Page 75, stars above. This sounds a little different, but sometimes you get music that sounds a little different. Let's just take a look at it. It's 4 lines long, treble and bass clef, 1 sharp in the key signature. We're in the key of G major. Make sure you're doing the G major scale. 4/4 time signature. We got eighth notes, half notes, quarter notes. We can handle all that, I hope. I'm going to kind of take it again, both hands at the same time to shorten the video a little bit. But normally I would take this one hand at a time first to make sure each hand knows what it's doing. But let's just try it this way. You're still in G position, sort of. We're moving around a little bit now. We're starting to get out of that 5-finger position thing. That's all right. Look at the first measure. And the eighth notes. So you're starting here. Well, it's here. You got the broken chord, but then you have an F sharp. Well, just relax. The thumb can move quite a bit if you just relax. And just come over and do the F sharp. Here. You can relax the hand afterward because you don't need that G again. If I needed the G again, I'd leave the thumb there. But I don't, so I can relax. So it's 1 and 2 and. You're getting that all across the first line. You also get it in the last line. So you're coming out of that 5-finger position just a little bit. Well, we already came out of it when we did the 5/7 chord or the D7. You're out of that position when you do that. So big deal. Except here we're crossing over the thumb. If you're doing the scales, the C major and G major scales like you're supposed to, you have to cross 3rd finger over. So this is nothing if you can do the scales. This sort of thing, piece of cake. And eventually you want to do this without looking at the keyboard. You want to feel that one note. And the left hand got the chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. This fun. The last of the line is just a C. It's just a G7 chord. A D7 chord, excuse me, a D7 chord. It's a 5/7 chord. Just a little different arrangement, but those are the notes. And then the second line. Now the left hand gets to cross over the thumb. Here. And now we need to leave the thumb here because we need the D again. And the second finger's doing both. Here. I don't like that fingering, but we'll just keep with it for now. And when you play the chord, now the left hand comes up. Huh? Now in the last line, the last 2 measures here, right there, let's look at this. Eighth notes, and then you have the chord, and then another eighth note, and then when I play the B, the left hand comes up, because that chord is only a quarter note. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, so it comes up on beat 4. As you're doing this, you bring the left hand up to play the high G. LH is left hand, yeah. Yeah, so it's all nice and even. So you put the hands together, take out the hesitations, and when you feel comfortable with it, sort of, try the articulation. We're going to connect them. I want to connect that's all. And then lift up, like taking a breath. Lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up. Now here, when I play this, the left hand comes up. Right when I play that, the left hand comes up. So I'm connecting this and this, but rest. Now into the second line. To play it the way it's written, you're going to hold this down for 3 counts. You come up on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The right hand has staccatos. So the right hand is done well before beat 4 comes along. Up. So you're not lifting the hands at the same time. Up. Same thing in the third line down. Up. Be accurate on that. We can adjust it later, but right now we're trying to be accurate here. So put in the articulation, and then when you're comfortable with that sort of, put in the dynamics. In the first line, it's all melody, so it's all going to be, first measure's loud, whatever you think that is, it's both hands. Because it's all melody. And the next measure, you come down a little bit to moderately loud, mezzo forte, just still loud, but just not quite as loud. And the third measure, you come down to soft. Stay there. And then in the second line, they put the MF under the staff. I wish they wouldn't do that. It belongs between the stabs. It applies to the melody. And in this case, now in the second line, the melody's in the left hand. So the right hand has to be soft. But you don't need the P to tell you that. You should just do it. So moderately loud and soft. Here. Yeah. And the third line, now you're soft, and that's the melody. And this is very soft on the right hand. Again. You're echoing the second line. And then in the last line, you come back up to moderately loud. It's going to be both hands. And then last two measures, you come all the way down to very soft. And they give you a retardando, so you're going to slow down. Okay, how much you slow down? It's felt. What do you feel it should be? And then next, the speed. It's the feel of it. It's not a fast or slow piece, it's in the middle. What does it feel like? Somewhere in there. At the end of the first line, you're going to retard on, you'll slow down. Okay. And then the second line, you see above the staff, there's an ah tempo. That's a little asterisk. Forget the asterisk. It's just a footnote thing for the. It's not part of the music. The ah tempo is what you're after. Ah tempo means resume the speed you were going before you changed it. We slowed down at the end of the first line. Well, we changed it. So the ah tempo is however fast I was going on the third measure. That's the speed I'm going to go then on the second line. And then finally, the vetted pedal. It's the idea with the stars and the atmosphere of the piece. We're kind of playing around with the sound and the overtones. And the pedal is going to provide us a little bit of special effects, if you will. I'm going to use what's known as lagged pedaling. That is, the pedal lags behind what the hands are doing. The note goes down first and then the pedal, because I release the overtones after I start the sound at the beginning. Right there, right after I play the chord, I push the pedal down. I'm going to lift the pedal with the hand so I hear the silence between the phrases. Each time I lift the pedal with the hand, I want to hear the silence. And the second line. Now here, I want to hear the staccato. So I'm going to lift the pedal up with the right hand on the staccato. Right there, so the pedal's only down for a little bit. Now on the end of the second line, you have a choice. We have to do this a lot with piano pedaling. You're sort of balancing what you want versus what you get. So it depends. What do you want and what do you get? Well, in the end of the second line, they're saying pedal, they want that overtones. You know, it matches the overtones we ended with all the others here. But you lose the staccato if you do that. If you want the staccato, then you can't have the overtones like that. Yeah, you have to pick which you want. Again, it gets into interpreting the music. What sound do you prefer on that? I like the staccatos. I'd like to stay consistent with those. So I might just pedal the first beat. So I get just a touch of overtone and then it goes away because I want the staccatos. You'll have to decide, or your teacher will decide for you. You can do that. You get the same problem at the end of the third line. Do you want the staccatos or do you want the overtones? I do the pedaling on the first beat only. I get overtones for one beat because I want the staccatos. To me, that's more important than the overtones. And then at the end, last two measures, right after I play the chord and it stays down, it comes up with the G together. And that's basically the pedaling. Let's play it together very slowly and double check our notes and rhythms. I'm not going to do any dynamics. I'm going to pedal it like I suggested. I'll give us 4 counts. 1 and 2 and ready and go and 4 and 4 and 4 and 4 and. Rest. Rest.